Welcome to RumbleStrip. I'm Erica Heilman.
So I went down to a conference in Birmingham, Alabama, and I ended up meeting this man. And I remember that we touched hands by accident.
Touched hands by accident.
And then all of a sudden I started blushing and crying, like, oh my God, I love this. And it was a sign.
That's Thomas Caswell. He has autism, which doesn't tell you very much about him. I mean, if you told him your birthday and how old you were, he could tell you what day of the week you were born, but that also doesn't tell you very much about who he is. Autism doesn't describe a person. If you've met one person with autism, then you've met one person with autism. But over the last couple of years, in his early 20s, Thomas has been coming out of the closet in stages. And along with the pretty common difficulties of coming out, there are some special difficulties if you're a person with a disability. Here's Thomas.
Autism is a spectrum. Nobody on the autism spectrum is the same. Some are not able to talk that much. Some flap their hands physically like this. Some jump up and down. Some anxiety makes them stutter, something that happens to me.
It's funny because when I first got here, you were pulling up on your bike and I was pulling up in my car, and you were going to lock your bike up on a tree. And I kind of started giving advice, and what about this? And I don't think it's going to be long enough. And I thought to myself, he's been biking a long time. Why am I even having a vote in this? Did you notice that moment?
I did, and it feels like, people with disabilities may have difficulty doing things, and feel like people naturally just want to come and help them, and it's the mixed reactions to that. So sometimes that was appreciated, sometimes that help I don't really need it. I just may need some time to figure it out. Back in early 90s, I was born in the mid-90s. When the autism was stigmatized back then, one of my own parents thought that you're autistic, you can't talk, and that's not exactly the case. Are some, physical that can come with it sometimes. Some people with autism, like I used to, have muscle tone. Some have balance issue, may have balance issue. So it takes time to be able to overcome those obstacles. For most people know that autism is a developmental disorder, so people like us are more likely to be developmentally delayed in things. And so when it came to have to act like a normal, like what's normal? Seriously, what's normal? Normal child. I had to be told to be corrected to do so.
What did they want you to do to be normal?
It's just that, it told me they had to just try to blend in.
So does that also include expressions of joy or something that you want to do, or a way that you want to be? Does it feel like you're pinned down?
Yes, it definitely feels like I'm pinned down. I feel like I get that joy taken out of me because I feel like people expect what they say normal. If you don't, then people will not respect you. It's like, how am I supposed to express myself the way I want to when other people are telling me that I need to do or act a certain way around other people and for people?
In your life, going to the grocery store, in your life, going to the public library, in your life, going to the hardware store with your mother, whatever, tell me, what was the experience growing up of living with this thing called autism?
Well, my parents didn't really take me out that much when I was little, just because I would get assimilated and everything. So I kind of had to grow upon that. I always liked being out with my mom much better than me and my dad. No offense to him. I didn't enjoy being with my dad as much as I did with my mom. He would try to start arguing with me out in public, and I didn't want people to hear anything like us, because be humiliated that way. And that way. Whenever he did so, the stress level just went way up. And I was like, you need to be quiet. You need to take a breath. And he did not.
And would he be angry about some behavior of yours?
Oh, yes. Just because maybe I don't see a person. Maybe I might get too close to a person accident.
You might get too close to somebody by accident.
Exactly. Where we may not be aware that they're there. And my dad never reinforced that and told me, yeah, it's like, there's a person right there. You can't get too close. And I'm like, oh. It's like I am being punished for something that I cannot control. When somebody yells, it's like creating this fight or flight situation, especially about so you're more likely to have that to bring that message to the fight and flight reaction. I wanted to be able to live a teenage life that was full of love and laughter and everything like that. That was just really disappointing.